Hello students. So in last session we start with our topic with aromatic hydrocarbon or arene compounds. So when we studied about the arene compounds, is we know that since most of them possess a pleasant odor, that's why the name is aromatic hydrocarbon. And this aromatic hydrocarbon is also classified into two parts. It's benzenoid and non-benzenoid structures. Then after we move to the main portion is the structure of benzene. So the molecular formula of benzene is C6H6, which can be discovered with the help of qualitative analysis, quantitative analysis, and to find out the molecular weight practically. And this C6H6 suggests that benzene should be a highly unsaturated compound. And this is also supported by the following three observations. Particularly first observation is like that. When C6H6 reacts with 3 mole of hydrogen in presence of Raney nickel, so it's converted into C6H12. Then further C6H6 reacts with 3 mole of chlorine in presence of sunlight, it's converted into C6H6Cl6. And another C6H6 when reacts with ozonolysis, so it's benzene triazonate, and then further reductive cleavage with the help of zinc and water, it's converted into glyoxal. So all these three observations suggest that benzene having a 3 double bond. But in spite of the presence of these 3 double bonds, benzenes behave like a saturated compound, which can be supported by these following two facts, two different tests. First, benzene undergoes substitutions reactions rather than additions reactions. Right? Although we know that benzene is expected to be highly unsaturated compound, yet it does not undergo additions reaction, so typical of unsaturated hydrocarbons such as alkene and alkynes. For example, it does not decolorize bromine water because it's a taste of unsaturation, but taste for normal unsaturated compound. Benzene is a little bit a special type of unsaturated compound. Number 2, instead of its undergo substitutions reactions which are characteristics of a saturated compound. For example, benzene when it reacts with bromine, so they do not decolorize the brown color of this bromine, so this test is not performed with the help of benzene. But this benzene when bromine in presence of FeBr3 as a catalyst, it's a Lewis acid catalyst, it gives a bromobenzene and hydrobromic acid, so it's a substitutions reactions. So it's a surprise from benzene why benzene gives us such a type of substitutions reactions. Number 2, benzene is resist to oxidation like saturated compound. For example, benzene is slowly oxidized to carbon dioxide and H2O. As we know that any particularly hydrocarbon like alkane and alkyne, when full amount of air, when combustion reactions always fastly converted into CO2 and H2O, and a tremendous amount of energy that can be gained, right? So here in this case benzene is slowly oxidized to carbon dioxide and H2O even with a powerful oxidizing agent such as H2CrO4, chromic acid, potassium permanganate, etc. So it means that benzene resists oxidations like saturated compound. So this particularly results that we have to observe, and then by the first insight into the structure of benzene was given by Friedrich August Kekule in 1865. Once again, the structure of Kekule structure, right? So the first insight to the structure of benzene was given by a Friedrich August Kekule in 1865. He proposed that the 6 carbon atoms of benzene are joined to each other by alternative single and double bonds to form a hexagonal ring like that. Okay, so each carbon is further connected to the hydrogen atoms. Besides Kekule, it's not only Kekule. Besides the Kekule, the following other alternative structures were proposed for benzene from time to time by a different scientist, but all these were rejected, right? One ground or the other ground. For example, Dewar suggests the structure like that in 1867. Calus give such a type of structure, right? Calus, it's a Ladenburg prism structure in 1869. Then Armstrong Bayer is a centric structure in 1887. It's a Thiele, a scientist who gives a structure near about 1892, right? So various scientists give the forecasting of benzene time to time, but all these structures were rejected, one or another ground or the other. Now we focus on the objections to the Kekule structures. There is a unique about the Kekule structure, but Kekule, some limitations of Kekule, because Kekule cannot explain why this benzene shows a remarkable stability towards the oxidizing agent, right? Like KMnO4, and undergoes a substitution reactions even though it contains 3 double bonds. So first questions, but answer which cannot be given in 1865 by Kekule itself. Number 2, Kekule formula for benzene contains 2 kinds of bond. As we know that benzene having a single bond as well as double bond. Okay, so but X-ray diffraction studies have shown that the structure of benzene is a regular hexagon. It's okay, with an angle of 120 degree, and all the CC bond lengths are equal, 1.39. As we know that, for example, in the case of alkane, right, every CC bond is almost 1.54 angstrom. If in case of alkene, C double bond C, so it's near about 1.33 angstrom. But benzene having a 3cc bond, 3c double bond C bond, so they having a 1.5 or 1.33, but actual practical suggests that, the data suggests that, X-ray diffraction suggests that out of the 1.5 or 1.33, but actual length is like that, and all the particularly carbon-carbon bond lengths are equal. So that's another point which cannot be explained with the help of Kekule. Kekule structures would predict one more structure, right? Kekule structure would predict only one mono-substituted product and 2 ortho-di-substituted product. What is the particularly meaning of this statement? Kekule suggests that if a structure di-substituted benzene, so bromine and bromine attach with a 1,2 positions or ortho position is called as an ortho-dibromobenzene. So definitely, okay, fine, but your ortho-dibromobenzene regarding to Kekule suggests that ortho-dibromobenzene having a 2 different isomers. Here, why 2? Because in this structure, for example, this is structure A and this is structure B. So in this structure A, there is a double bond. There is a double bond between 2 carbon atoms carrying bromine atoms. But in structure B, there is a single bond. So if Kekule structure were correct, right? So both these isomers should exit and have a different properties. But as we know that only one ortho-dibromobenzene is known. For this account, for this Kekule proposed, for this particularly solve this particularly problem, Kekule proposed a dynamic equilibrium between these 2 structures, as shown in this particularly figure. So it's a dynamic equilibrium. In other words, the positions of single bond and double bonds are not fixed, but they are oscillates back and forth between adjacent positions. But in short, Kekule structure failed to account for the unusual stability of benzene, because at that time he was not explained why the unusual stability of benzene, and number 2, why the all CC bond lengths in benzenes are equal in nature. But after many years, this can be easily explained with the help of molecular orbital theory, and number 2, resonance theory, because this particular theory, MO theory, which can be invented in 1932 by Hund, Mulliken and Hund, right, in molecular orbital theory. So in 1932, the structure of this benzene, which can be explained, very good explanations by molecular orbital theory and resonance theory. Now we switch over to the what is molecular orbital theory. What is the molecular orbital theory? So molecular orbital theory, MO theory or MO structure of benzene. MO structure of benzene. What is MO structure of benzene? As we know that since all the bond angle in benzene is 120 degree. Okay. So all the carbon atoms of benzene are assumed to be sp2 hybridized because 120 it means that sp2 hybridized. So each carbon atoms forms a 2cc sigma bond with the neighboring carbon atoms and 1ch sigma bond with the hydrogen atom. So it means that 6cc sigma bond and 6ch sigma bond, right? They lies in one plane and the angle between any two adjacent sigma bond is 120. So to draw such a diagram of the sigma bond, for example, I having a carbon number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6 in a horizontal way, right? As we know that carbon having a sp2 hybridization, so 3 sp2 hybridization, so each carbon sp2 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 same way sp2 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 here sp2 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 sp2. So this is a sp2 sp2 cc sigma bar. How many this is? 1 2 3 4 5 6. So 6 cc sigma bar bond, right? And this is ch sigma bond, ch sigma bond. So it's a sp2 1s sigma bond, 6 ch sigma bonds. So this figure is a nothing but it's a sigma bond skeleton of benzene, right, with the help of molecular orbital theory. Now each carbon is now left with an unhybridization p orbital, because one orbital which cannot take part in your hybridization. So these 6 unhybridization p orbitals have 1 electron each. So they are not parallel to one another but also perpendicular to the plane of the sigma bond skeleton. So further, any two p orbitals on adjacent carbon atoms are close enough for a sideway overlapping to form a pi bond. So what the particular suggests, if after the sigma bond skeleton of benzene, now we move to the pi electron formation. So on hybridization p orbital, okay, this is hydrogen, 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 okay. So now they joined sideway joint and they give the structure of benzene is like that, okay. One more possibilities is like that, one more possibilities same way, hydrogen. So another possibilities is, so we get a structure of benzene in this manner too. So two possible sideways, this is the first one and this is the second one, two possible sideways overlap of this 6 unhybridization p orbital to form a 3 pi bonds. So now there are two equally good ways in which the p orbitals on each carbon atoms can overlap to form a 3 pi bonds. That can be seen in your figure. This is OR, okay, fine. Now in fact each 2p orbitals overlap equally with 2p orbitals on adjacent carbon. So on either sides to form a 2 donut, right, shaped pi electron clouds. So one of which lies above and other the below the plane of the, because what they suggest that, so there is a possibility if oscillations phenomena can occur So we get such a type of structure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. Okay. So which can be also, it's a pi cloud. Okay, pi cloud. In the same way, pi cloud. So it's a donut shape of a pi clouds. So thus two or p orbitals are not conformed to single pi bond between two carbon atoms, as was two structures are shown, right? So these participations of pi electron in more than one bond is called as a delocalizations of electron, which is called as a delocalization of electrons. So these delocalizations of electrons are equally attracted by all the 6 carbon atoms of the benzene ring. As a result, all CC bond lengths in benzenes are equal, or the CH bonds are equivalent, so dipole moment is 0 and does not show a type of isomerism. So the prior problems which can be not solved by the Kekule, which can be explained with the help of this molecular orbital theory. So further, due to the delocalizations of electrons, benzene is nowadays shown by a circle. That's why benzene nowadays, which can be shown by a circle, where the hexagon represents the 6 carbon atom and the circle represents the 6 completely delocalized electrons. So it may be noted that here there is a delocalization of pi electron which make it more stable than the hypothetical cyclohexatriene molecule. Why? Because for this process for delocalizations of electron, they release the energy. They lose energy. It means if lose energy, your benzene must be stable in nature. If any particularly compound is stable in nature, so it means that they show the substitution reactions rather than addition reactions. So now the resonance theory, the phenomena of resonance is said to occur if for a molecule we can write a 2 or more than 2 Lewis acid structure, 2 Lewis structure which differ in the positions of electrons, not in the relative positions of atoms. So these various Lewis structures are called as canonical structures or the resonance structure. So now we can draw the resonance structure is like that. It's a canonical structure, first canonical structure of benzene and the remaining canonical structure of benzene, but we have to now draw the third one. It's a resonating structure, so it's a hybrid structure of a benzene. So this arrow shows be clearly distinguished from that used for an equilibrium. It's not equilibrium, this is a resonance phenomena. So in the light of resonance theory, benzene can be represented as a resonance hybrid of the following these 2 Kekule structures. Thus these 2 structures are canonical form of benzene. The actual theory of benzene is neither represented by 1 or 2. This is 1 or 2. But it's a resonance hybrid of these 2 structures. Further, these 2 canonical forms are having an equal energy, so the contributions equally 50% towards the resonance hybrid. In other words, the structure of the resonance hybrid is in between these 2 Kekule structure. So 2 adjacent carbon atom of benzene molecule are neither joined by a pure single bond or nor joined by a pure double bond. That's why the bond length in this benzene structure is 1.39 angstrom. Okay. And further, the delocalizations energy, they release a 36 kilocalorie per mole, and this energy is called as a resonance energy 2. This resonance energy, which is also observed by a heat of hydrogenations too. So heat of hydrogenations which cannot be given in our NCERT textbook, because for example if we have a cyclohexene or cyclohexadiene or cyclohexatriene, so 28.6 kilocalorie per mole, which is required for to break a 1 pi bond, but which is not given in our book. So presently heat of hydrogenation is not our topic. So in short, the molecular orbital theory and resonance theory both give a certain idea what is the structure of benzene and what is the progress of the benzene from 1825 to 1937. So this is all about the structure of benzene Now we, in next lecture, we move to the very interesting topic is called as an aromaticity or a Huckel's rule. Thank you very much.